Hello and good evening. Here it is, the date. I'm here in my class with my children. Say hi, guys. There we go. So that's how we do things. You have a sub, and I'm going to show you how to start your Screencastify. I would just like you to continue working on, by now you're pretty much working on all your boards, except for the quotes. Don't worry about the quotes. But remember, we're trying to fill the food board with 4 icons, places with 4 icons, and spirit animals. So I've kind of made a lot of progress here with the spirit animals. But this assignment is all about recording yourself for 10 minutes. So let's go back to Chrome. I'm going to click on Chrome here. And I'm going to go here because this is one of the things I did to keep my children entertained, is printing some Lego pictures. But to record ourselves, remember, you're going to go to this little orange or pink salmon colored icon here. Oh, Arlo just hit the desk. It's okay. Okay, here we go. So we're going to click here. And remember that you don't need a microphone turned on. Drawing annotation tools are not available. That's okay. And then just click record. I'm not going to actually record it because I don't want to have 20 things recording. Well, let's do it. Hit record. I'm going to record my entire screen. Click share. And it's now recording. So I'm going to go back to Illustrator. And I'm going to use this time to remind you how to make some of these icons. I've already made a gorilla. Let me show you how I made this gorilla face. Do I have a reference? Yep. Here we go. So I'm going to kind of just go through making this gorilla face in case you're feeling a little gorilla-esque. Maybe you're ready to rage at all your AP tests. Okay, let's zoom in. So first thing we're seeing here is the fact that I'm going to bring this forward. Remember, if you need to arrange anything, you right-click on the object, choose Arrange, and then bring to front. Here we go. Alrighty. You can see I started with a rounded rectangle for the mouth. So here's the rectangle tool. Click and hold on the rectangle tool. Here's the rounded rectangle tool. But before I select one of these, because we're going to work with a lot of different shapes, I'm going to just bring out this little tab here on the right. There we go. I'm going to choose rounded rectangle and click and drag. Okay, so how do I know how big to make this? Like, what scale are we working in? I don't know. So I'm going to use the space bar while I'm dragging this out. And what's cool about that is space bar, you drag the whole shape over. So look, I'm just kind of like using this to line up. Yeah, and now I'm going to use the space bar to drag it back over. So that's like a fun way to trace, I think, in Illustrator. I'm going to do 4 points or so. 5 points. Next thing, I drew his gum. The gorilla's gum. Look on my YouTube channel. I'm also in the same assignment. I'm going to post how I did this cat face here. So you'll have 2 videos to look at. But this one specifically talks about how to record in Screencastify. For the gums, I'm just going to zoom in and use a line tool. So I'll choose the line tool, line segment tool. And then I'll click and drag across. Hold down the shift key to keep it straight. Come here, you can come watch, Rex. Here we have teeth. For this kind of thing, I think I'm just going to draw... How can I do this with the pen tool? I'm going to do this with the pen tool. So I'm going to use the pen tool. And it's still using the same stroke. So I'm just going to draw one tooth. And you can see how I did this one. I did it like straight down and then up. And like a lot of other stuff, we're going to flip this in a sec. I'll hold shift to keep it straight. And then come up here. And we close the shape by like clicking where we started. So I'm going to hit the V key and then arrow this over. Whoops. Zoom in I think my stroke here is too thick, so I'm going to click on that and turn it down a couple points. Click over. Okay, so rather than like remake the shape, I'm just going to hold Alt, click and drag, hold Shift to keep it in the same spot. And then we need to flip it, reflect it with the O key, O to reflect. And we'll hold Shift and it'll keep it straight. Boom, looking awesome. I did the same thing down here. I'm going to hold Alt, whoops, make sure you grab the right thing, the tooth. Click and drag. I'm going to hit R to rotate. Click over. My kids are literally fighting for position here. There we go. I'm going to use the black arrow to shrink it down. And then once we're happy with one, you can see it's a little bigger. He's going to be a little meaner. That's okay. And actually the scale is a little weirder, but whatevs. Hold the Alt key, drag over it. No, don't do that, please. Thank you. O to flip. Line up. Okay, so that's how I did the mouth. Here you see a rounded rectangle. Or I'm sorry, that's a ellipse. I'll click and drag that out. You can probably guess I used a triangle here. Is that what I did? I actually don't remember. Let's use another triangle. I'm going to use the Polygon Tool. Click and drag. And then hold the down arrow a few times. I'm going to line that up. Space bar to move it over. Like so. That's kind of what this little gorilla's thing looks like. His little... I believe this is the second option. I believe this is, when I do the Pathfinder, it is minus front. Yes, good. Let's zoom out. Okay, so now we gotta do the mean eyes. Let's see how much time is left on Screencastify. We'll click on the little recorder. The desktop's being recorded. And I got about 4 minutes left, so we're good. Go back to Illustrator. The eye is pretty fun. I'm going to start with an ellipse. Let's zoom in. And drag that out. And you can see my cat has a similar eyeball. So you could also just watch the cat video for that. Now I'm going to drag draw a rectangle on top of it. Use the black arrow to select both shapes. It's going to punch out. Actually, because I want to keep, I'm going to punch out the top of it, so I need to move the, you can always rotate it, but we're going to get rid of the top of this. I'm going to have it around the halfway mark. Select it, use the Pathfinder option to minus front. From here, I rotated it by just coming up to the corner here, rotating down. And then I also did some kind of skewy thing, so that's the white arrow. The white arrow lets you select like one side of something. And yes, there are, you know, there's a local, locals are restless here in CDM. Awesome. Okay. So now I'm going to take this shape. Let's line it up so I like it. So I like it. So it's symmetrical. I'm going to hold the Alt key, click and drag. Uh-oh, Rex fell on the floor. And then flip with the O key. Hold Shift. Ooh, that's cool how they're connected like that. I'm just going to eyeball this. You can use the Align tools. So yeah. He probably needs pupils, but you get the drift. I'm going to go back to Screencastify. And click stop. You also have the stop sharing thing here. So let's click stop. And grab the link that shows up over here. Copy link. That is the link you should submit to. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm actually going to now stop the real video. Or the actual screencast, which is in Camtasia for me. So a lot of stuff to keep track of here. I hope you enjoyed this. Keep going. You can do it. Illustrator, it's hard but fun, satisfying a little bit, hopefully, for some of you.